The Luminous did. Oh, fuck. So, I was reading this book, I was listening to it on script, and I didn't plan on making a book review because I'm not a book reviewer. I haven't done this before. This is my, you're popping my book reviewing cherry. But this book was so bad that I just, like, I had to get it out of the system somehow. And yeah, like, this book made me talk about it on YouTube, basically. I've never done this. I didn't read this book with the intent of, like, taking notes and then trash talking the book. I wish I had, but I refused to read it again. One time was way too much for me. I'm so annoyed at the waste of time I put on it. Halfway through the book, I went to YouTube and I watched some woman who was like, these are my did not finish books, and one of them was The Luminous Dead, and I was like, okay, I'm halfway through, I'm gonna power through, and I'm gonna watch the whole thing, read the whole thing, and something is gonna happen. Something has to happen, right? So, spoiler alert. You've been warned. Spoilers. I mean, there's not really much to spoil because nothing really happens in this book. Like, the premise is cool. Also, it was recommended, like, it was on, like, the name The Martian was thrown with it, and I was like, oh, cool, I really love The Martian. And this is this is a steaming pile of potato poo. My God. So, my main issue with the book, nothing happens. The book comes to a conclusion, and you're left with, like, I don't know, blue balls of literature. Like, the whole book is a build-up to nothing. Nothing happens. Like, nothing. Yeah, the girl gets her hand cut off by herself, and she kills the tunneler with her voice. Yes. But nothing happens. So, my main beef with this book. Let's start with the beginning. We're thrown into this off-world thing, mining colony, which is, like, fine. I don't know anything about, like, the society they live in, the kind of social interactions they have. I just know that these people want to get out of there. Okay, fair enough. I can sympathize. I feel them. It's alright. So she goes and she does this crazy job that she's untrained for, unprepared for. The book doesn't tell us what the main goal of this expedition is, and I'm still not sure. I don't know why they sent, like, 35 people to die. No, 27 people to die, 35 in total. So it's like this woman. Let's call her Jair. I mean, her name is Jair. I would refer to her as Damas One. It's a lot of, like, a bit of a really short history about her, the like, exposition from the book. She's like this young girl, and she lived underground most of her life. Like, she didn't live there, but this is what she trained for all her life, and la la la. And the dumbass 2, M, we don't have a lot of exposition about her, and we get, like, I don't know, it was in an audiobook, I don't know, like 10 minutes of this guy felt like the owner of the mission felt like Jair, Damas One, is good enough for this job, and he was like, yeah, okay, yeah, you do it, you go, girl. And then we start with, like, the dialogues between the handler, which is Damas 2, and Damas 1, which is the caver. They are both highly incompetent. They are both highly untrained. This is also very unrealistic. Like, when I work, even if I work with people whom I don't really like or get along with or want to work with, there's a mission. If I'm on a mission, especially if my life depends on it, I cooperate. I don't go and like, I'm not an asshole to everyone who's, like, this is from both sides. Damas 1 and Damas 2 are both assholes to each other without any provocation, without anything. Like, Damas 1 signed a contract. The contract says a bunch of things. Your problem. You didn't read it. Well, your problem. If I don't read the contract in real life, it's my problem. Literally. Yes. Read before you sign is the learning. That's the spoiler of the book. Anyway, Damas 2 is like very cold in the beginning, very professional. She's like, oh, you're a caver, I will call you caver, do this. And then she like just doesn't respond for a while when Damas 1 asks her questions or tells her stuff or things like that. And that's kind of stupid because you want to work together with the person you're working with to achieve a common goal, right? What is this goal? No one knows. I assume it's to dig out the corpses of whoever, but it was never explicitly said in the book, so I'm like, maybe? If I was the person, if I was Damas 1, going down there, I'd be like, okay, what is the goal of this mission? What would be defined as mission complete? And then like ways to get that, ways to achieve it. Like how long is the mission? Supposedly, let's say give or take, let's say 30 days plus minus 5, 60 days, 90 days, whatever. I should know in advance. And this lady was clearly unprepared. Like her preparation montage was, she spent one day, like one whole day in a cave. This mission is, I'm not quite sure, but it's at least 5 weeks. At least. So, like, scale. Now, Damas 2 is the one who went, I don't know, she hired her, but she hired Damas 1, but the owner of the mission, who is not Damas 2, it's some guy who was briefly mentioned and then forgotten all about it. He did the first interviewing and he pays the money and la la la. So Damas 1 is doing this to get a lot of money because this job is really dangerous and like really hard, and the payout is accordingly because she wants to find her mom, who I don't know ran off when she was a child, and she's like, oh, she left this note, follow me, and it's like very ex machina, random things that don't make sense. Yeah, so it starts, she goes down, there's this suit, which actually the suit part is kind of nice because like it's thought out and it's nice and it's like it's cool. Like they cut out your colon and they connect it to the suit where it stores your waste and the catheter, and there's like this machine where you put there's a hatch, whatever, where you put food stuff, and it connects to your stomach directly, and it's like, okay. So they're like, they don't chew, they eat through cans. Okay, it's a nice touch. I like it. It's supposed to be a sci-fi book, right? I got this recommended after I finished the All Systems Red series. By the way, All Systems Red, very fun series. So yeah, Luminous did. Oh yeah, I wanted to say, if you ask me, don't read this book. Don't waste your time on it. Anyway, let's continue. So, highly incompetent people trying to achieve a common goal, which is unknown to anyone. So the handler, Damas 1, is being a real bitch. She's being a real asshole to Damas 2, and she's like, she doesn't explain anything to her when Damas 2 is clearly like insecure about her, and she doesn't know if she can trust her because she literally never met her, never heard about her, nothing. So like, why can't you introduce yourself and be nice and like induce like calm in the people you work with? Like, she's supposed to know the people are stressed when they're down there and they don't have anyone, and let alone the handler upstairs is working alone. There's no team, like they say it in the book that there's supposed to be a team and it's supposed to be more than one person, because you know what, Damas 1 and Damas 2 need to sleep, so they sleep at the same time. So who's monitoring Damas 1? Like, there's all these high-tech stuff and cameras and sensors and blah blah blah, but oops, I was asleep. Yeah, they ex machina through oh yeah, I set the computer to alert me if something happens. Like, guys, really, why? Like, this is obviously a plot device so that Damas 2 gets angry at Damas 1 and Damas 1 cannot do their jobs. No, other way around. So that Damas 2 cannot do their jobs because Damas 1 is angry at them, and it's like this whole drama underground. Like, this makes no sense. This is a mission, this is a job. This is not a soap opera. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Now, one good thing about the book is the setup, like the atmosphere is really well made. Like, it's tense and it's captivating, and it's like you can really dive deep into this thing, into the whole atmosphere and the whole happening, but it needs to lead somewhere. It needs to have like needs to have a catharsis, or you know what? I would also accept if she died. Like if she just did something stupid, went insane, and died. That's fine. She died. She died. Okay, she was stupid. She was insane. She went. I don't know. Whatever. But the way the book ends is this like, oh, happy ending. Nothing happened. Oh, I got out of it. Ha. And it's like, really? Why? You had such good build up. Like the whole slowly going insane. It's so well written. It's so well made. It's like the whole atmosphere itself is a masterpiece. It's really good. Why do you have to fuck it up by not having an ending? It's like literally blue balls. I don't have another definition for it. So most of the book is like Damas 1 and 2 bickering about like it's a power play. I don't know, like it's nonsensical, and it's like, oh, I don't trust you. Well, I don't trust you. Well, you shouldn't have lied on your resume. Well, you shouldn't have hired me. And then like Damas 1, who's down there, is like, oh, I'm so not cut out for this job, but they hired me. Oh, they trust me, but I don't trust them, but I do trust them. But oh, this, like 50 times. Oh, this is when she finally cuts the communication and leaves me to die here, like 50 times. And also the slow process of her going insane is flooded by, oh, I thought I saw something in the corner of my eye in the shadows moving. Like the writer wrote this line like at least 20 times. And it's like, okay, find a different way to describe it. Find a different way to feel like you're being watched. Like, also, oh, I feel eyes on me. Okay, good. You feel eyes on you. Yeah. When I'm in the dark, I also do. Find a different way to describe it. It doesn't need. Why are you so repetitive? Like if I write a text and I use the same term twice, I start feeling like, oh fuck, I'm repeating myself. Let alone in a book, 400 pages book. Don't read it. It is such a waste of time. Yeah. So there's a lot of bickering. There's a lot of power play. I don't know. I guess if you're into this kind of stuff, enjoy. But yeah. It's a lot of, oh, I don't trust you, but I don't trust you, but you should trust me. Oh, you did save my life. Oh, please, I will do as you say. And then there's the whole, in the middle, like, basically, the contract between Damas 1 and 2 says that Damas 2 can, like, inject Damas 1 drugs in case of emergency or life-threatening situation, blah, 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 blah. In the contract, you don't like it, don't sign it, right? So like the first morning, I think, after she went to sleep in the cave, Damas 2 wakes her up with adrenaline, which is like a dick move, but okay. And then Damas 1, rightfully so, gets annoyed. It's like, why would you do this? Like it's the equivalent of kicking someone awake. Like no, you don't. You don't do this to someone you want to work with. I really hoped that this is like a plot device because she woke her up and because the sensors, I don't know, saw something, the computer gave an alert and like, I don't know, there was someone next to her. Ooh, so creepy. But that's not it. Like there's no reason. And it's being brought up a few times in the book. Like, oh, like the time you drugged me and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I have no problem with like going, oh, I did this because of that and stuff. But it's not. And then there's also the whole, like the girl downstairs, down in the cave has this like super fancy high-tech equipment that reconstructs her environment. And then Damas 2 can like remove things, edit things, illuminate things that she wants. And she just removed like corpses of other previous contractors that were there, and it's like, why would you do that? Like the caver has the free will to take off the faceplate, whatever, and look around with a flashlight. So if they walk around and then they decide to do this for whatever reason, and then they see corpses, that's more suspicious than being like, hey, listen, there will be a corpse at this and this coordinate. I put it on your map, And these are people who died before, they were contractors, and they didn't make it because they fucked up, or because I fucked up, or because whatever reason. Like, be upfront, be transparent. This is how you do business, lady. And there's so much. Like, I'm now I regret the fact that I didn't take notes and didn't like write all the problems in the book, or most of the problems in the book. But yeah, they go on bickering about this. Like, there are a few camps with like stashes of batteries and food and what else do they need? Yeah, like climbing gear and ropes and shit. Like, the climbing part of the book is kind of nice because it's like, I like climbing, and this is sort of, but there wasn't a lot of climbing porn in this book, so pity. At some point, like after the main character, Damas 1, suffers a lot of abuse, and she's like super insane, super stressed, like she's out of it. She cuts the communication to the one person who, you know, knows she's there, the one person who can like support her in any way. And then she just goes on wandering alone in the cave, going insane. And yeah, she immediately regrets the fact that she, A, cut the communication, B, doesn't know how to restore communication, C, it's like... So she just walks around and she goes insane. She sees things in the shadows in the corner of her eye, and she hallucinates a bunch of people, and she looks at all the dossiers of like everyone who died and all the people like of the cave, and at no point is it explained why they were there. Like the first expedition, like the parents of Damas 2, why this current mission with 35 participants in total is being like conducted. What? Why? What is the end goal? What is the point? What is anything? And then like the two or three major events of this book are they find out this one guy, this one caver who was before Damas 1. He was somehow still alive ex machina, and he somehow survived without food, communication, sensory like support, batteries, anything. Somehow he survived. He got lost in whatever it is, the sump, I don't know, whatever that is. Someplace with water and very convoluted and a maze of water and rock. So he got lost there, and there was no communication. Somehow he survived 5 weeks alone, and there was one cache of like food and battery missing. More explanation needed. Further investigation is required. And then the next major happening of the book is like when the tunneler was locked on to Damas 1's, I don't know, like singing or talking, when she was talking to Isolde or whatever it is. Like it came around and it changed the whole cave, and she had to cut off her hand, and she was super insane, and she didn't want drugs because, oh, drugs are bad, don't do drugs, kids. Ho, ho, ho. And she literally killed this ex machina, like what is it? A monster, an animal, a machine? We don't know. The tunneler. Oh, the tunneler, scary tunneler. Ooh, the tunneler. Look at the tunneler. The whole book, it's being like the writer is teasing us with this thing, and the way he died is the main character, Damas 1, screams at the tunneler as it tunnels away from her. And then the tunneler comes back around, and then it falls to its death. Like an unenthusiastic hand job. I don't know. And the next, like, there's the whole climbing up. At this point, she's like, at the end of her everything, like no equipment, no battery. Her battery case got fucked. Everything is like at the edge. It's like literally a cliffhanger. And she is very close to the exit, and she wants to come out, and she like loses power and everything. I don't know. I'm guessing half a kilometer away from the exit, from the hatch. And then her operator and someone else, so Damas 2 and someone else. Apparently there is a team. Ooh, fancy that. They come rescue her, and she wakes up in recovery. And then she's like a groupie of Damas too, for whatever reason. Because now they're friends, and she's like, oh, come with me and we will run away because none of us wants this now. And really, so yeah, this is like what the book should be titled: What if two idiots tried to achieve a high complexity goal? That's a more fitting title to it. Again, should you read it? No, don't read it. Don't waste your time. Steer clear of this book. Someone on the YouTube video I watched of the didn't finish lady said that he read 90% of the book and don't bother, nothing happened. And I was like, I was so hoping that something happens because this had so much potential. And it is offensive that this book is being mentioned alongside The Martian. It is offensive, like, for The Martian and intelligence. The Martian was good because it explained a lot of things that are really complex in a simple way. It had a clear goal. It had a plan. It was a convoluted plan. Like, I see how someone could say, oh, in The Martian we had like a guy who was really far and communicated with by radio, and also in this book, oh, it's basically the same. No, it's not the same. Like, when you have The Martian with NASA and Watney, and they work together to achieve a really high complexity goal, they work together. They don't go like, oh, fuck you, I'm offended now, I don't want to listen to you, I'm cutting communication forever. No, it's like, really? You're alone and you cut communication and you're like, no, I hope you think about what you said. I will be in my cabin until you apologize. Anyway, this has gone on forever. Yes. Tell me what you think. Tell me how I did, because I never reviewed a book, let alone read a book. And yeah, maybe see you in the next review. Maybe not. I don't know. Bye.